on? I don't think she wants to.
Hey,
oh, look, Joe's here.
Don't do nothing crazy, okay? Sit right. Hey, just go over to sit, chill.
Joe's parenting right now. Yeah, Cuban Gorilla here. While Joe's parenting, I'm gonna finish this intro. Okay. We are brought to you today by our friend over at Original Gunplug Garage.
Don't smack me.
See that? That's the stuff the big guy's working on building these robots. All right. Yeah, they got those going on. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, brought to you by Original Gunplug Garage. Cuban Gorilla likes to build. Joe, those are called, that's Jeremy's whip. Work in progress. Whip.
Never mind. I ain't going to say nothing.
The whip. It's a work in progress, Joe. You got to get hip to the lingo.
I'm not going to say
you're going to start building robots.
See, look. I got my gun right here.
No, it's not. It's not a pew-pew. That's a transformer.
Transformer, y'all.
Yeah, transformer. Gotta make sure his parole officer doesn't see this. Also, we're brought to you by our own merch table. Go get some shirts. There's a new one. There's a new shirt. It was a Wild Wrestling. Joe, there's a new shirt out. New shirt. New sticker.
Okay, cool.
Thought I should mention that to you. It apparently I'm supposed to let you know that Jeremy does not eat pizza rolls.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently there's some beef going on, and he wants you to know he does not eat pizza rolls. You know what? That's true. I'm not a pizza roll eater.
I'm very hurt right now.
I'm a whole pizza eater.
Okay.
I eat entire pizzas. I don't really understand how.
Hey,
how did you go and get? How did you get mocked on Busted Open anyway?
Hey!
It's Joe's fault.
It's my fault. Okay. Look, Mark.
Yeah, but I mean, Joe, they drug him pretty hard.
Look at it this way.
Who gets drugged on Busted Open?
Hey,
me.
At the end of the day,
I do.
Hey, let's put it this way. If I am right, which I'm 90% hope I'm right, they will owe both of us an apology. Live.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm just going to be completely honest. I actually wasn't even going to bring this up. Okay. Mark brought it up. So, I mean, I thought it was kind of a big story. You got made fun of pretty good. And, I mean, I laughed. Whenever I call in, they don't make fun of me. But I got made fun of for Joe's idea. Also, they hung up on, you know what, Mark? We're just going to. Mark, you hang out right here, buddy.
Look, I'm going to put it this way. Look, think about this. I'm just going to tell you my philosophy, and if y'all agree with me, y'all agree with me. If you don't. It's cool. Look at it this way. He been off TV about June-ish or so.
Something like that.
When Jack Perry kicked him in the face.
Let's lay it out. That's just for anyone who missed me being on Busted Open earlier this week. I called in the Busted Open, and I presented them with an idea Joe had presented Wednesday night on our show. So, Joe, what was the idea that you threw out there that I called into Busted Open?
Okay. So this was my idea. 2 weeks ago, Mock said, you work for me. I asked you, who do we work for? You said, Tony Khan. I said, no. Who do they work for? You kept saying Tony Khan, and then you said his father's
Joe,
name.
it's because they work for Tony Khan.
Yeah, but then I said, but you got to think about it. His dad is the one who provides the money for the show and everything else. So in reality, they work for his dad unless they work out some bigger deals. But anyhow, the thing was, his dad is very upset that when Jack Perry kicked him in the face back in June-ish, whatever he did to him, he been off the show.
Beat him up.
Nobody ain't seen it.
Took a Meltzer driver.
Nobody ain't seen
brace to all the NFL things.
Yeah, he has been gone. Adios. Ain't been on TV. So Dad went out found the tough guys that could bring back the company. And so you got, if you think about it, they've been taking out all the weak links that Tony Khan said he's a big fan of. Took out Cassidy, Daniel Bryan, the Dark Order. Those were all the ones his dad said, I'm a huge fan of. Took them right out.
Yeah.
And now here we are. They are still talking about, like last night, Wheeler said, we are taking over. We. He kept saying we. He didn't say who. He just kept saying we. Now, you got to put the two and two together. Dad wants to show his son how to say, if I was in charge, I would have been fired all of them. They would never had no jobs. And you are just sitting there being a weak link. So somebody got to take control of it.
So I don't think I pitched your idea on Busted Open as good as you pitch it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will say I wasn't really given an opportunity to elaborate on it before Bubba Ray Dudley started yelling stop. I uploaded it. It's on our Instagram. Along with I had to chop make it fit into a reel. So I have me pitching it, followed by Dave LaGreca's very lengthy rant about me burning my mouth on pizza rolls. And it's important for me to say this. One, I couldn't tell you the last time I ate a pizza roll. It's important that I put that out there. Kind of important to me to just let I'll eat a whole pizza. I'm not eating a plate of pizza rolls. Two, they had already hung up on me. And this, so someone put it on there that they would like to see somebody Photoshop LaGreca's face on a box of pizza rolls. Consequently, I had already turned the entire thing into a T-shirt that's available at our merch table. Link is in the bio. Because I thought it was hilarious. Then I shared that. And it was on, I can't remember, one of the wrestling groups. Which then led to someone asking me if I'm like chasing a hug. So that was an interesting thing. No, I'm not. I made a funny shirt. Man, it really, like, people are weird. Not, and there was that part who wants to go, like, especially wrestling fans, but just all people are weird. And to me, what's really weird about the entire thing, honestly, is Dave LaGreca and Bubba Ray Dudley. Because their behavior was, pun not intended, very bully-esque. Not because Bubba's Bully Ray, but because Bubba was very much stop. Like, kind of, he's an asshole. Just call him that. But then they didn't mock me with me on the phone. They hung up on me, went to a break, came back, and Dave LaGreca chose to mock me.
Oh, he did? Oh.
Yeah, that's where the whole pizza rolls and all that was from. They had hung up. They had gone to a break. I went back to doing what I was doing. And then they proceeded he went on like 10 minutes of content about me burning my mouth on pizza rolls, just rambling on and on and on. And I'm all for having fun. I absolutely am. I don't really give a shit about their opinions, to be completely honest. I don't really value Bubba Ray Dudley as like a wrestling god or anything. He's not really that good of a talker. But what annoyed me was you hung up on me and then proceeded to mock me as someone who listens to your show. But also, you proceeded to mock me without allowing me the opportunity to mock you. And that's something that a bully does.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, where it gets a little frustrating, and where I told you, see, now I'm mad at him. Because, first of all, you're my friend. We've known each other basically our entire lives, right? I'm pitching your idea. And if they wanted to make fun of me with me on the phone with them, like, to me, that's one thing. Then I could say some stuff back, and you have an exchange. But then to make fun of me without me on the phone, that's a lot like talking shit behind someone's back. And I don't like it. And I especially don't like it when someone chooses to do that without an opportunity for a rebuttal or without the fear of, like, this gorilla might slap me in the mouth. So I will just simply say this. Dave LaGreca can't beat me in a fight. All right, we're going to say that. Also, I'm going to say this. Neither can Bubba Ray Dudley.
Whoa.
And Bubba Ray Dudley ain't been in a real fight in his life. So perhaps a story from this can come that Jeremy's got beef with Bubba Ray Dudley.
Okay. This is what I got.
And I'm just going to say this. In defense of your idea, Dave LaGreca, Bubba Ray Dudley, anytime, any place. Book the fight. Not a wrestling match. Give me an MMA fight with either one of them. Book it, Joe. Make it happen.
I got best solution. I just got best solution. So there ain't no violence. Look, if I'm right, if my theory is right, I just need 2.5 tickets to the WrestleMania. That's all I have. That's all I want. We'll go club seats because I don't want to be around a lot of people. So club seats is better, okay?
I do think, man, there's a chance they could go that way. Like they could go with the idea Tony's dad is the one behind Mox, or involve Tony's dad in some capacity. I don't think it's far-fetched. Do I think it's like a great, like, this is like the end-all, be-all, Chad Khan's the savior? I do not. And I told you that. I think this could be an idea that could happen. I would think, like, shock value, yeah, Shane McMahon's like the better shock value option, right? But
so, yeah.
The reality is, I hope they don't involve Shane McMahon, because I feel like that's just a bad business move.
And that's why I said it would be better if it was Dad, because
so
they haven't
that was
changed.
Their argument was that it wouldn't be better, and it doesn't make. And they said it doesn't make any sense. This came about 15 minutes after Bubba Ray Dudley saying that Tony Khan doesn't listen to people and all this stuff. Said, well, Tony Khan just signed a major TV deal, so how's he a weak boss? And I said, yeah, but that's the real thing that happened. We're talking about the wrestling show.
Oh wait, he got mad because you kept saying IWC.
Yeah, because you don't cater to the IWC. That's simply not so. Man, this is really gonna sound like I'm shitting on Bubba Ray Dudley right now.
No. Look at this. Did not sit.
But here goes.
Hey, just for the record, he's not sitting on them. He just, if you know him from years, you know that he would just, like, one, okay, he's cool, but then you got the second person who keeps stirring up the pot, and that's really gonna tick him off. So Bubba started, then Dave stirred up the pot.
You know what? Maybe, honestly, Dave kind of annoyed me more because he went on for 10 minutes of trying to mock someone who wasn't there to rebuttal back. And to me, that's bully behavior by a very weak individual who's been bullied in the past. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's his opportunity to hang up on someone and act that way. So I just hope whatever it is that happened to Dave LaGreca whenever he was a kid and a teenager, I hope he's able to heal from that. I hope he's happy. It's my hope. There you go. But as far as Bubba saying, like, you don't book things on your TV show for what the IWC is talking about, and then Dave went in on that. Well, that was simply proven to not be the case 24 hours later when WWE put the tag team titles on the Motor City Machine Guns. That was entirely booked to please the internet wrestling community. nothing's been like everyone threw a fit about AEW, and this is kind of going to lead to a further question. So AEW booked Nigel McGuinness against Bryan Danielson. Everyone, this doesn't make any sense, right? Everyone just threw a fit. They booked Ricochet against Will Ospreay for the Intergalactic Championship of Neptune or whatever the hell that title was called today. Doesn't make any sense to bring him in and fast track him to a title match. The Motor City Machine Guns won the WWE Tag Team Championship on their second appearance on WWE TV and what was their third match. Not only did they fast track them on their second appearance, they created a secondary match for them to have on the exact same show to put the tag titles on them. And I can assure you that when Bubba Ray Dudley and Dave LaGreca get on their show tomorrow, they're going to go about, it's great to see them get their recognition and all this. No, it's not. It's not. It's good for them that they have the tag titles. It's good for them this is probably a reset of the tag division. But that was only done to please the internet wrestling community. That wasn't done because it made sense. It wasn't done because it was good for business. It wasn't done to sell tickets. It wasn't done to sell merchandise. It was done to please the internet wrestling community, to get the Motor City Machine Guns trending as a hashtag. That's it. Did you watch TNA? Did you watch Bound for Glory last night?
Bound for Glory, it was pretty decent. It was good.
Good show. Really good show.
It was good.
What they keep talking about on Bound for Glory after the show started, where it was ranked, where it was trending nationwide online. That's it. Number 10 number 10 in the U.S. trending. What's WWE talked about forever? Trending number 1 on social media right now.
Yeah.
If you're trending number 1 on social media and you mention it after every commercial break, isn't part of your show for the internet wrestling community then? Because hashtags aren't happening because someone's mailing someone else a letter. Okay, boomers. I mean, Jesus. I didn't understand the logic in thinking that you don't book a wrestling show for the internet wrestling community. That doesn't make any sense. That's saying you don't book a show for your audience. Don't do that. That doesn't make any sense. Other things that don't make any sense that are kind of being done for the internet wrestling community is the rumored bloodline civil war, that you're going to put Cody Rhodes with Roman Reigns on a team together again for a second time. Who's that for? Who are you booking that for?
I don't think it's gonna be Cody. I really think WrestleMania 41 is Cody Roman 3. I really think that's going to be.
It might be, man.
Just saying.
I had an idea pitched to us about this, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. And it's one that I really, really, really like too, by the way. But yeah, so that's the, the great thing of the entire thing is that I made a really cool shirt. The pizza box shirt's dope. I really like what I came up with there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like bullies, man, and I really don't like bullies who can't fight. That probably bothers me more than anything. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey! Think of it like this: you didn't do it because you really. You did it because you did the right thing. You stuck up for your friend who had an idea. That's all. That's all that matters. You stuck up for your friend who had a great idea, and they just shot it down. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think it probably annoyed me infinitely more in the moment was because for me in my brain it was your idea and they were dragging it so hard. And to me, they were making fun of you, and that pissed me off more.
I ain't gonna lie. I heard it. I'm like, okay, he's going into it. He like my co-host said. I'm like, cool. He let me know about it. I'm like, cool. I'm happy. He acknowledged me. Cool. Oh hell, girl, get your ass in there. Wipe the face off.
Do I even want to know what just happened?
Bar so like not wet, but she just got it all on her face like she put like a mask on.
That's
You
funny.
know. Yeah, so that's all that was.
Yeah, so you're wondering why there wasn't a rebuttal of me further, because they hung up on me. So I couldn't say anything else.
Yeah, so I wasn't mad. I just heard my idea, heard it. Not me. That's all I really cared about. I just like cool.
Yeah, you got name dropped, so that's good.
That's all I care about. That's all I really care about.
And
I ain't name drop.
If you're right, Just Mystic Joe shirts are going to sell out. I went out into the communities that exist. I went out to, I posted 2 questions out in the Bleacher Report communities. I went to the AEW wrestling community of Bleacher Report, and I went to the WWE wrestling community of Bleacher Report. I asked the AEW community to describe WWE in one word.
Ooh.
I asked the WWE community to describe AEW in one word.
Ooh.
Before I get into what the community had to say, I want to ask you, Joe.
Okay.
In one word. So now we're a little bit different. Now, the way I posted this, in the AEW community, I said, in one word, you, an AEW fan, describe WWE. And I asked the WWE community, as a WWE fan, describe AEW in one word. So I'm going to ask you, we like all pro wrestling, but I just want to ask, describe AEW in one word.
One word.
One word.
I'll just say it's growing. Growing.
Growing is a good one word.
I'm just saying I'm putting growing because only saying it's been 5 years, ain't really made a good mark. Some people may say it made a great mark. Some people don't. But you need time to get to everybody's attention. So I'd say it's growing. It's getting there to get everybody's attention. So I'm going to be fair.
Okay. How would you describe WWE in one word?
I've been watching for years, so I would say after WWE it's changing. Like it's slowly changing. It's slowly.
Oh, man, it is changing. It's definitely it's changed a lot over the last few years. It's interesting because the one word that I would use to describe, like, man, if we went, these words would be so different just a few years ago of how I would describe each brand. I like your growing and I like your changing. And very good descriptions of both of them. I think if I were to go back, just a couple of years ago, I would have described AEW as wrestling and WWE as entertainment. Today, I would describe AEW as interesting. My one word for AEW is interesting right now. And my one word for WWE would be elite. My one word for AEW being interesting is that if it's pro wrestling, it's going to get my attention. Like if channel surfing were still a thing that we did, if I were skipping around and a pro wrestling match was on, I would stop. It would have my attention. I may not stick around. It could be something silly. It could just be a commercial, whatever. But if there were 2 men in a ring with ropes, I'm going to stop on whatever it is. But AEW currently has my interest again, and there's moments where it has slipped and kind of lost that, because I can't help but wonder what the hell was going on in a positive way right now. There were times I wondered that in a negative way, where I simply couldn't get a grasp as to what the hell was going on a weekly basis on the show. I think AEW does have an identity at the moment, and it has the identity of being a professional wrestling show. It's got the best matches in the ring. Storytelling has gotten better, and they tell stories in a bit of a cliffhanger way, where you get a little bit. They will start something, and you get like this little bit. And I will say, sometimes their middle drags on for a while. Also, so does WWE's at the moment, and that might be what we would call long-term storytelling. A long game, looking things out. When they do this, they usually have my interest. I want to see what the end is. I want to know how this story finishes up. I use the word elite to describe WWE right now, because for me in this moment, WWE programming feels a lot like early AEW programming felt. Matchups feel fresh. We're not doing rematches all the time. Things have felt pretty fresh for the most part. And I say for the most part because I think some things are being done on wash and repeat a little bit in WWE at the moment. And there's just some things that are very predictable. And I don't want to be that cynical wrestling fan that whenever WWE is still yet really good, I'm over here going, well, yeah, but I seen that coming. You know, and it's kind of hard to not do that when we have, like, this past Monday's Raw, very, very predictable. Not that it was bad, but it was predictable.
It was good, too.
It was good. It just kind of seen it coming. And I don't know that the end game doesn't make sense to me. But we'll get there. I want to tell you what the community had to say about these two questions.
I would say if I was community a member, I would say someone from WWE community would call AEW lame, boring, and someone from AEW would say WWE is washed up and sorry.
So
Wait, what's that 2 words? Damn.
But yeah, I kind of lost it as 1 word. So, and both questions got engagement from their respective communities. So put that out there. Here's something I find very interesting, Joe.
Okay.
My question posed to the WWE community of Bleacher Report got almost 4 times as many responses as my questions to the AEW community. Now, I don't know I don't know how many people are in each one. Logic would say the WWE community is probably larger. However, I would say if you're on Bleacher Report and you're part of a wrestling community on there, you're probably watching everything pro wrestling. So you're probably part of both communities. WWE, my question to WWE fans of how they describe AEW got almost 4 times the amount of responses.
Damn.
Overwhelmingly negative.
Kind of figured.
I got who with question mark. I got disappointing. And I will tell you, I tried my best to anyone who gave me anyone who gave me a one-word response that seemed like maybe they had something like behind it, not just trolling and giving me something, trying to be edgy and controversial. I tried to engage that person to get some feedback. Like, why the person said disappointed. Reach out to them. Hey, what makes you feel disappointed in the AEW product? Did not get anyone I reached back, anyone who I replied to, no one gave me a follow-up. No one told me what they watch on the show that they dislike. There were some people commenting back and forth to each other of some things, and there is some positive. But got a lot of people saying it's just an indie. Got a bunch of people calling it indie. I did get one that somebody said no sell. So I think no sell might be 2 words, but for wrestling, I'll count it as one. And you know what? There's a lot of no selling in AEW, and sometimes it is a problem.
I agree with that one. The no sell.
Yeah, the no sell thing kind of gets done a little too much, and it gets done on wrong things. But it also happens on every show. WWE does it. TNA did it last night. Josh Alexander. Who was the guy he faced? Steve. What's his last name?
I can't pronounce it. I know the last name. I know.
He hit him with a German suplex with his hand zip tied behind his back, and he no-sold that.
Mm-hmm.
That was how do you no-sell that move? Anyway. I did get somebody who gave me far more than one word.
Damn.
Yeah, Enrique said, entertaining. Despite that, the WWE product is better. I feel certain wrestlers are way more entertaining in AEW, and they have had better matches on AEW than they ever had in WWE. For example, Jon Moxley is better in AEW. Maximum Male Models are way better in AEW, and somebody replied to them, the Hurt Business too has a lot of potential in AEW versus the clear ceiling they had in WWE.
I'll go with that.
I do agree, man. I hated I hated Dean Ambrose in WWE. I am intrigued by Jon Moxley in AEW.
I agree with that.
I just got a lot of nonsense, but there were so many responses from the WWE fans about how they felt about AEW, but so much negativity, and I just gotta wonder why.
Okay, I'll say this to the person who said AEW was disappointing. There are some times in AEW it can be like disappointing. There can be
Absolutely.
There are matches that just make you look at it like, y'all couldn't put that like on like Rampage, but you put it on a pay-per-view or Dynamite. That could have been something for that to not be watched. Not no finish, y'all. And then you got another disappointment where you just give people like the CEO the microphone and they just talk, and it's.
Here's a problem, though, is that people wanted her to go to AEW. Like, fans were excited about that. Like, honestly, the only, like, big name, like, wrestling personality who was adamant that it was a bad idea was, in fact, Eric Bischoff.
Mm-hmm.
I had my opinions it was going to be a flop. That's just because those types of things aren't booked for me. So it wasn't going to be something that was going to grab my attention anyway. But fans overall saw that as a positive until they're seeing it that it's not being, no one's writing it like they were in WWE. So you're not getting that character because that person's not that character. They're creating their own character and trying to be that thing that might not be as good. I got one word reply from Mr. House for AEW fans describe WWE, and I found this one to be pretty interesting because I got there's a lot of positive from AEW fans about WWE. OGs, that they're consistent. Someone did say overproduced, which I figured I would get someone saying it was an overproduced show. Somebody said catfish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? They string you along for a huge match, but more often than not, the build-up is better than the actual match. Roman Reigns' biggest highlights of his career was catching the mic that was thrown to him to cut a promo. I'm like, that's kind of funny because it's actually one of my favorite Roman moments. But you know what, man? Historically, that's kind of right. The build to the big match in WWE is always better than the match. It's kind of always been that way too. It's about everything that leads you to the thing. They tell you the story. The last chapter may not be that great. But I thought that was a well thought out explanation. But again, most of the AEW fans had something positive to say about WWE. But the WWE fans had so much negative to say about AEW. And I find that to be very interesting. And I want to ask you, why? Why is that the fact?
Okay. You gotta look at look at this way. What's a good way to say it? It's like a blockbuster going against Netflix. Look at that way. You got the blockbuster side that said, hey, Netflix doing this live stream is stupid, it's dumb. And then the most said, I think this would be a perfect idea. It's great. It's fantastic. Think of it like that.
So, that's a really good analogy. But for me, it kind of clicks in a different way. So, like when Netflix started up, man, everybody really supported Netflix. They were a startup, underdog, tech underdog, mailing you DVDs. And why did they start? Why did Netflix start? Do you know? Well, what the story is, I don't know if it's actually true.
Okay. I got 4 guys started Netflix back when we was in high school. That's when rumors started. It happened when we was in high school, y'all, like 98 or 97. And
because one guy had late fees.
Yeah, he had late fees.
So they
was tired of getting
Netflix.
Yeah, so he said, we'll buy old movies, rent them, and you get to return them whenever you felt like it within 30 days. Instead of having that little 3-night back then, you get the late fees or a whole week.
And everybody loved that, right? Everybody was all about Netflix. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, man, screw Blockbuster, big corporate Blockbuster, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then Blockbuster goes away completely.
Not. There's one more.
No, I think it's closing. It's closing soon, or it is, or already closed. There was one left for a long time.
It's closing on Halloween.
Oh, is it closing on Halloween?
This Halloween, the last one.
And now Netflix is so huge. Mm-hmm. It's huge. I don't fully understand how they make money, but Netflix is gigantic, right? We all cheered for Netflix to beat Blockbuster. Now what? Now we all miss Blockbuster, man. It's that nostalgia thing. Like, we all just really wish we could just go back to Friday nights of going and picking out some movies and coming home and gotta watch everything by Sunday. He's got to go back. Mm-hmm. And I think that's interesting because AEW started off with so much goodwill. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like all those people who wanted an alternative to WWE, maybe they just wanted WWE to get better. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't that they wanted another option. They just wanted the thing they were used to be better than what it was. But that doesn't explain the AEW hate. I don't understand it. Okay. I recently seen a post that some dude has an entire YouTube channel. I don't know what his channel is, but all he does is post things that's just hating on AEW. It's just nothing but negativity. And 12,000 views on his video. Why do people want to engage in that? Like, how does that work? What is wrong with people?
Okay, I'll be the bear. The reason why most people hate on WWE, the AEW, if you look at the whole AEW roster, you got people that was in WWE for the longest, go over to AEW. Some made a name for itself, some kind of different. Then you got them still going to get the talents that they had at the developmental center that didn't pass. They grabbed them. They grabbed everybody that just got fired, and snatched them all up. Tried to make them better. And once again, y'all know the ones who made it and the ones who didn't make it. I ain't gonna say no name, not saying names. Y'all know, y'all can figure out what I'm talking about. And that's the main thing everybody don't like about AEW, because they just snatch everyone.
But that's what every wrestling promoter has ever done. Vince did it to the AWA. Bischoff did it to WWE. Everybody did it to Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was signing people who were released who didn't have a job. He wasn't poaching talent. That talent was getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who weren't able to get over in AEW, and I don't know the inner workings, but it just seems like AEW is a bit of a place where you're kind of free to get yourself over. And if you can't get yourself over, there's not really a machine behind everything to help get you over. It's kind of on you. If you can't do it, it ain't going to happen. But I don't know, man. It's really weird to me because I've seen someone say it like the low attendance and the ratings need to be a focal point of AEW. And it's one of the things I mentioned on Busted Open that kind of got shit on, that it could be a reference point for why Tony's not doing a great job because that's what the internet talks about. And I think it's just a weird thing because, like, we grew up in the era of sitcoms. Roseanne and, like, Home Improvement and all these shows were filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
They never told us how many people were there. They never showed us the audience. They just told us it was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And they had one shot to take everything.
So why does it matter to wrestling fans how many people are in the live studio audience? All I ever see is AEW should book smaller arenas so that way the crowd looks bigger. I'm not watching the crowd. That's not the show. I was never once watching Married with Children going, could they show me who's laughing? I'd like to see who's having a good time there. I've never thought. I don't understand.
But you know what it really is about? It is about the crowd to most people. Because you think about back in the early 90s, late 90s to mid 2000s, you would see arenas full. They would have the camera, crowd, signs, everywhere, full. Yeah.
And WWE is now making a point because whenever you go to a live WWE show, they would always do the thing in between. Like during commercial breaks, they go and they show everyone signs, hold your signs up. And now that's part of the TV show. Yeah. Now they're focusing on signs, telling everyone, hey, bring your signs, bring your signs, bring your signs. They're really trying hard to recreate that.
But you want to know what the real reason is?
But that was an AEW thing.
But I'm going to tell you what the real reason is. Here's the real reason. I saw this video the other day on YouTube where a guy asked a simple question. What is one thing people are wasting money on now that are not worth going to today? Back then, it was worth going to it because tickets were cheap. Today, it's not worth going to see concerts or movies or live action stuff because ticket prices have gone outrageous expensive that people can't afford.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to think about parking. So, in reality, it's not the ratings today. Some people can afford to go. Some people can't afford to go. And if they do afford to go, they would rather go on like a pay-per-view or technically a live television show.
Well,
even a live
I
television
think
show wouldn't be that great to go see, but they'd rather see a pay-per-view. Would be
a
better.
lot of people really complain about going to WWE's live shows, Raws and SmackDowns, because there's so much time where nothing's happening. Because if there's a commercial break, nothing's happening in the arena. They turn off the lights in the ring, and the wrestler who made his entrance stands there in the dark for 5 minutes while the commercial goes or the backstage segment happens. And a lot of people are like really down on that. Like, hey, it's not as much fun as I thought it might be.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like, if I'm at home watching wrestling, I don't care how many people went to the live show. I also don't care how many people are watching that event live, because the odds are I'm not watching that entire show live. I'm an old man. I fall asleep. I start watching it, and then I fall asleep. Your sister wakes me up. I turn all my stuff off. The next morning, I wake up. I finish watching the show. It's so rare, though, that I'm watching it. I'm playing the video game. I'm doing something else while I'm watching it, so I got to go back and catch up on it. I watched Bound for Glory this morning while I was playing Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6. I didn't watch that pay-per-view live. I also didn't watch it in a way where they know I watched it.
Hey, people got their way of watching stuff these days.
But my question, I don't understand why for wrestling fans that's a benchmark of a good product. Have you ever liked a movie other people didn't like?
I did. That's few. Yeah.
You played a video game where you tell me like, oh, that game sucks, man. I really like this. This is fun for me. Ever have a hobby other people don't enjoy? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I feel like a lot of people need gratification of other people thinking the thing they like is cool. And I don't know where the fault for that is, because to me it's very strange. Why not just like what you like? And I find it interesting that the promotion that everyone like kind of dogs had, their fan base had a lot of positive to say about the other promotion, but the other way around was so much negativity. Some stuff I won't even repeat on my show. Like, how do you feel that way about a TV show?
I can only imagine.
Just like super weird things.
I can only imagine.
I just got a big shout out to A to the K podcast. They just gave me theirs. WWE, one word, institution. AEW, one word, alternative. Very, very good one word description of those.
If I had to put it this way, just to say it off in a nice way, send it off in a nice way, I would think the WWE community would rather not have a battle with another company. The WWE community would rather see AEW fail, because they just getting all technically they're not bringing up their new talent and making them a star. They're still being like WWE, having the older run the company, being a star. And as you watch WWE, they're slowly transitioning some of the younger talent into stars. And as you see, slowly, like Randy Orton about to slowly step down from the main title picture. You see Kevin Owens slowly. So I think the main thing is, I'm going to say it this way. People, it's a show. It's people you've seen like for the past 20 years and some probably 5 years. They're on TV. They're making a name. And it's just a show.
They're portraying characters they have, or they're starting new ones. They're onto a new show.
And the best thing I tell you is, which is better? SpongeBob or Courage the Cowardly Dog? That's the thing to tell you.
Could you imagine if people were having that kind of argument? Like the passionate way wrestling fans have that argument of a promotion being better than another one. It's so weird to me, man. It's really like, there are some moments where I see some of this interaction between wrestling fans, And I have to wonder, how am I a wrestling fan? Like, some of these people got some anger issues, like, feeling way too strongly about how billionaires are spending their money. I'm like, it's got to calm down. It's just a show. Just enjoy it for what it is. Let the talent perform for you and enjoy it and applaud what you like. Boo the heels. Man, folks get mad. And it's just weird. It's so weird. I almost wish I would have done the social experiment asking for a single word description. Because, like, ugh, kind of rough. But with all that said, good week of pro wrestling. But what was the best show, Joe?
Okay. For me, I got to give it to Raw.
What made Raw stand out to you for being the best show?
It stood out to me because from start to finish, it kept me watching it. I was entertained by it from start to finish. They may not have the good matches, had some that was okay, but like I said, it's the one that kept me entertained and dragged me away. So I have to give it to Raw.
I think Raw was a good show. I thought Dynamite was a really good show. I thought SmackDown.
It's up. It's up.
And
It's up. It's up.
So I understand that they did this week's SmackDown and this coming week's SmackDown all in one night. I get it. But I'm not one to. I don't like spoilers, and I try to avoid them at all costs. I did see the spoilers for this coming SmackDown. Didn't mean to, but it happened.
I can say this. I saw a spoiler because you know how on YouTube it showed the recommendation. It had a video of a guy saying like, "Oh, I caught Jey Uso coming from the crowd." I'm like, "Cool, I want to see it." Then I'm looking at it like, "Where he come from the crowd?" I'm waiting for the super kick and whatever he like. And I'm like, "Oh." Then you see the background screen, Titantron, what you want to call it now, saying tomorrow Crown Jewel. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, you got me. Like, you got me good.
Yeah, I didn't mean to see them, and you know what? Seeing everything that happened, I'm not going to give it away here, but seeing everything that happened on this coming SmackDown, it could have been combined with this past SmackDown into one show. I understand you need to split it up, but man, and I'll be honest, this is just me. Not that good of a show. SmackDown that I got to see wasn't that good. The SmackDown that's coming up to me, my opinion. Now, granted, they'll add in a lot more backstage stuff no one got to see. Just not. It didn't give me a level of excitement for Crown Jewel at all. It didn't sell me on tuning. I'm going to tune in, sure, but it didn't make me really want to. With all that said, I don't know what happened on Rampage. I did see that Ricochet was going to have a match, but I didn't catch up on Rampage. I thought Collision was a very good wrestling show. Like, Collision was great matches. I thought the sit down with Wheeler Yuta was surprisingly good.
It was.
I don't know of many times where I've heard Wheeler Yuta talk where I was interested in what Wheeler Yuta was saying.
I know, that was the best part about it. I ain't gonna lie. That was like the best thing about the show was that interview. And you got
him and Nigel. Nigel set it up so well. Wheeler absolutely delivered in that interview. I believed Wheeler Yuta.
The best thing that got me when Wheeler said, "Are you mad that I did something that you couldn't do?"
Yes. And what did Nigel call him? A snarky little prick or something like that?
Yeah, snarky little prick. He said, "I want to show that I was a better wrestler. I wasn't trying to hurt him, take him away from his family."
How'd that work out for you? Not good.
Yeah, so I got to give the Wheeler for that one. Like, you're mad because we did something you couldn't do.
With all of that said,
Mm-hmm.
the best show for me over this past week was TNA's Bound for Glory.
Okay.
I know it doesn't fit our criteria of best 2 hours.
It was 2 hours.
I think it was pushing 3 hours. But here's the thing: I don't keep up with TNA.
Yeah.
There's too much wrestling for me to juggle everything. I was able to watch Bound for Glory and enjoy the majority of that show with no idea what was happening story-wise. Just the commentary team told me what I needed to know while I was watching it. You don't have to be following the product every single week to be up to speed. They told you the story. The talent put on good matches. Matt Cardona's match was silly fun. I thought Josh Alexander and Steve Maxwell, that's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, Steve Alexander, that's it.
Had a great match. I didn't like the no sell of the German suplex, but I mean it worked in the context of watching the match. Like it happened, crowd pop. Oh my god! In hindsight, you look back on no sells and go, "Wow, why'd you do that?" But I thought it was all very good. Again, if it's we're looking at AEW, WWE, I think AEW had a better week, but that's just because I didn't feel the same excitement about Raw that you felt. I don't think it was bad. I just don't think Jey Uso should be realigned with Roman and Jimmy, especially for the reason that we have. If blood wasn't thick enough for it to happen, how's the IC title get lost? The reason for you to join up with them? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Again, just me, but it's WWE. And they could easily turn this into something that I think is the greatest thing ever next week.
Yeah.
They have a knack for doing that kind of thing.
They do.
Where I'm like, oh man, this is absolutely terrible, and then they're like, oh no, well, then there's this little piece of it. I'm like, oh well, this is great. Put that in.
There you go.
But yeah, I think it was great this week. But that leaves. So we have a mix. You think Raw was the best show? I think Bound for Glory was the best show.
Cool. I ain't mad.
What is your match of the week?
Okay. I told you when it happened in that text message, though. So once again, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna break it down to you. It could have been 2 other matches that could have caught my attention. But for one, I'm going to say this. Screw LA Knight. Screw LA Knight. That LA Knight, let you listen to me. That could have been the best match between them two right there. They had it going in that match, but you screwed it up for both of them. So that kind of kicked me out. And then,
but hopefully it gives us the opportunity for this to continue to flow.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a 3-way match now, right?
It's a 3-way match now at Crown Jewel. And the second, another one that almost had it was last night. Leo, y'all doing good. Then y'all it kind of went dead here after the first. After it went out the ring, it kind of just went downhill afterward. It was good.
You felt like there was a drop-off in Ricochet versus Leo Rush?
It would have been better if they just kept going at it, but then it kept going up and down to me like it had mixed, but then just went down. So now the match I choose, y'all, along with the wrestler of the week, since they both in the same category, same match. So it's Shelton versus Sammy. And the wrestler is Shelton. And I'm picking Shelton once again because here's my theory why I'm picking Shelton. If you look at him now compared to his WWE days, they do better now. And now, the kick is the damn kick. I don't know what it is about this kick, y'all. Now, he did insecurities in the WWE day, but now you don't see him you don't never see him do a super kick in WWE. But this kick, he's not tapping his leg, not doing nothing to his leg. He actually kicking somebody, and it's perfect. and it's so
Shelton Benjamin's super kick, it was like his best kept secret. I don't understand. He wasn't doing that all the time in WWE, and it looks so great in AEW.
yeah. So I'm just saying, like 2 weeks in a row, all you hear was the kick, and I'm like, damn. And I had to do my thinking. He never did kicks. He always did insecurities or like run up to the ring and doing a kick, but not like that.
Yeah. The Shelton Benjamin style in AEW is, I'm really enjoying it because it's like he took his WWE style and turned it up a few notches, and things are just look different.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, you know what an obby is?
Yeah, I know what octopus is, girl.
I know an obby. Gotta jump over stuff. That's an obby.
Oh, don't ask.
I have no idea. So I do think Shelton versus Sammy was like really good. I think that Leo Rush versus Ricochet also were really good. With that said, my match of the week is neither of those.
You need to pass them out.
My match of the week is Vikingo versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
Whoa.
And it was close between that and Josh Alexander's match. But yeah, Speedball and Vikingo. That match was ridiculous. He hit him with a destroyer from the ring post.
He did.
I ain't never seen someone do that. And I watched the clip 14,000 times today. And I don't really understand what makes a human being think they can do it.
Wait.
I don't know neither.
The margin, that area is not huge. He landed like it's like 6 inches, and he jumped springboard front flip pile driver. And the thing is, Mike Bailey had to backflip in 6 inches of space. I don't really understand how that works.
I can tell you this. That wasn't no practice.
Yeah, you're not going to try that on me. Like, we're just going to do this. We're just going to have to do this. So you're not trying this. But yeah, that was a great match. I will say one thing. I have one negative about TNA's Bound for Glory. I don't like that I'm interested in what's going on with JBL.
What's wrong with JBL?
I don't understand why would he help Nick Nemeth win the match and then slap his brother. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on.
If I had to pick, if I had to think about it, I would say JBL, the wrestling god, is helping Nick be the future wrestling god. And
do you think JBL is going to wrestle?
I don't think he's going to wrestle. I
I
seen JBL. He said in the interview he wasn't going to wrestle. He just there. He ain't going to do nothing. But that clothesline from hell he did to poor Joe.
So that's what I wanted to end the show with you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you about Joe Hendry. Going from one Joe about another Joe. You think that's it? I understand that, I heard before that his contract with TNA runs till the end of 2025 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was ever an opportunity to put that TNA World title on Joe Hendry, I feel like it was last night. And they didn't do that.
No.
Is that the only opportunity to make him TNA World Champ? Do you think he's leaving TNA to go to NXT or main roster WWE? Do you think there's another way to circle this back around and give him that world title at some point before his time in TNA is over?
I say it like this, from a Joe to a Joe. Us Joes can't make it, y'all. Us Joes have bad luck.
Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe different, though.
Yeah,
you talking about?
Yeah, he is.
Samoa Joe, different. Okay, there's Joe, and then your average Joe. Your average. There's the Joe that can make it.
So hold on. There's Samoa Joe, and then there's just your average Joe, and that's where you and Joe Hendry sit.
That's where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Mendy,
so
you hear your brother? He said there's Samoa Joe who's up here, and then there's just your average Joes who are down here somewhere, and that's where him and Joe Hendry are at.
So that's what I got to say. So that you got your average Joes that can make it, but then as for Joe Hendry, I would say, hey, if he want to be the champion, he got to cut back with the theme song. The theme song is what really making him popular.
Is he more than the song, Joe?
He can be more than the song, but you look on his...
Your sister hates the song.
I understand. I can see why she hates the song. But
wait, why can you see why she would hate the song? So she has no idea who Joe Hendry is. I want you to know that. But she hates the song because sometimes the song gets stuck in my head, and I walk around the house singing it nonstop for about 4 days. And I convert it into other things. You know, I believe in Mindy. I believe in our puppy. I believe in Mark.
Oh well.
I'm 12, yo. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Hey. Well, I'm just saying it like this. The song, it was a hit when it came out. The song
it's been a while. It's not. Yeah. The song ain't new.
Yeah. But I'll say this. His song started to turn into like Fandango with his song. It's played. It's starting to get overplayed. And that is what mostly everybody's starting to recognize him for is the song.
Is he more than that song? Or is it just that song caught fire? This is his 15 minutes, and TNA recognizes this is his 15 minutes, and it might be up because he may have been overexposed in NXT. So let's not put the world title on him. Let's see what happens if we don't give him a title. Because sometimes giving a title, like making someone world champion doesn't make them a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like tons of guys have carried that world title and not been seen as the guy. Nick Nemeth is clearly the guy for TNA right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can Joe Hendry be the guy for TNA, or does he just, would he be better suited to go to NXT and just be a guy?
I would say this. Bound for Glory. Yeah, what about I would say if he got one more shot.
He posted, I gave you guys everything. I really did. I think it is some wording like that. So it almost sounded like a goodbye.
I would say this. It'll be a goodbye if he wins the Feast of Fire, if they still do the Feast of Fire match. And if he gets that briefcase, hey, it can be a title shot or, he's fired. And that right there would tell you he's on the way to NXT.
Yeah. I really thought like last night would have been the opportunity to make him a world champion. But the fact that they didn't kind of makes me wonder if they will. Or if they somehow came to an agreement for him to go to. I don't know what would be better for that character overall because again I don't watch TNA on a weekly basis. I did really enjoy Bound for Glory. I thought there was a lot of great matches, but I was just very curious. I thought for sure like I'm going to be tuning in to see Joe Hendry be a world champion. Okay, cool. They'll play the song. I can sing it all day. Drive your sister nuts. She'll shove me down the stairs again, and I'll drop my grilled cheese sandwich.
Put that down, girl.
But just not the case. So I'm a little curious to see what happens.
I'll say this:
could he be a different character? Like, could he be portrayed differently than the I Believe in Joe Hendry guy? Like, could he turn heel and be a badass Joe Hendry? Could that work or not? Because you watch TNA way more than I do.
Okay, I'll say this. He could turn heel, but he has to turn heel on the right person for it to be believable. So I'll say this: if he goes on TNA Thursday and they put him in that little Mark Henry speech saying he's done, goodbye, over with, and turns it back on, who would be the great person? Tommy Dreamer.
Would his heel turn be best to happen in TNA, or could you turn him heel in NXT and have that be better? Could he cost Trick Williams his title, and that could be his heel turn?
I think it's better.
And I can't find a reason as to why he would do that. Just I don't have a story for that, but just could that happen?
It'd be better if he did in TNA turn heel, so everybody would believe in Joe Hendricks.
Is Tommy Dreamer on TV in TNA? I know he works he's like a part of the creative, I think.
Yeah.
But is he an on air is he an on TV personality?
He's backstage and does what's it called? Not commentary, but he'll go in the ring here and there sometimes.
Does he still wrestle?
Oh yeah, he still wrestle. He was the digital champion. They got that.
Huh.
And
good for Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy's a nice guy. He's not a bully and doesn't mock people after they've been hung up on.
I think the thing is you gotta have two bad guys and one soft guy. They can say, "Nah, I believe you, John." That's what it is.
Well, he didn't say he liked your idea. Just gonna put that out there. He just wasn't a dick about it. He said in the creative process, every idea gets talked about because you can build on any idea with enough people.
Yeah.
Respectable way of thinking. Some people are just stupid dicks. And with that, I think that's the next T-shirt. Thank you guys for checking us out on our weekend wrestling show. Wait, we didn't do Wrestler of the Week.
I did mine. You didn't do yours.
Oh, I didn't do mine?
No, you got your match.
I gave my match. I didn't do my Wrestler of the Week?
Nah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My Wrestler of the Week is actually, yet again, Big Bronson Reed. Because he's, of the entire week, the only believable monster in pro wrestling today. PCO's close. Because he does look like a Canadian Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was close, though, because the Moose match was pretty good, too. Moose versus Santana was a surprisingly good match. And I almost said, man, Moose might have pushed it over the edge. But nah, man, I still like my monster. With that, everyone, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll preview WWE Raw, and we will kind of pick apart what we're leading into with Crown Jewel and we made up a championship belt to not have our champions defend their belts for another month in WWE. So until tomorrow, we still have a few more days. You can donate to the American Red Cross right on our Instagram page. Anything you purchase from the merch shop, including the new Don't Say Pizza Rolls T-shirt. Donation will be made to the American Red Cross for any merch purchase. So thank you guys, and we will see you tomorrow. We're out.
All right. Tomorrow.